Hi guys, welcome back to my video. My name is Sophie, aka Peachycraft. Today is a really exciting video as I've literally just received these parcels in the mail. I was going to film this video tomorrow when I had more time, but I just really want to open this parcel, so I thought, why not? It's a nice sunny day, let's just film it now. So this is a art haul from Jackson's. I ordered some paints, some watercolour, and I also have something from Amazon as well. So I'll just jump straight on into the unboxing and we'll look at some art goodies. So let's start with the main box. I'm just using a paintbrush to open it because I can't find my scissors and I'm lazy. So let's have a look what's inside. The thing about Jackson's, they package their parcels so well. It really is a good service to use. Like, very rarely, if ever, I don't think I've ever received anything broken. It always comes in really good, sturdy packaging. So let me just remove this because it's a bit noisy. And we have 3 little boxes. Take them out. And a watercolour pad. So Jackson's, these are actually new to Jackson's, and they're made by Jackson's, but they use certain brands. So this is Bockingford St Cuthbert's Mill. I've never used this paper before, but it is cold press and it's 300 GSM. You get 10 sheets in this, and I think it was around £6 something, so it's a really good deal for cotton watercolour paper. I decided to get just the smaller A5 size just so I could trial it out because I've not used this type of paper before. I think they also released Fabriano paper, which I have used, but I wanted to try something new, so that's nice and exciting. And then to go with the watercolour paper, I obviously bought some fun watercolours. So this one looks easy to open. Oh, look how beautiful they look. So this is a set of Michael Harding watercolours. I'm not going to lie, when Michael Harding watercolours came out, I wasn't actually that interested. I've only decided to purchase them now. Because they're really expensive. I mean, similar to Daniel Smith and things like that, and it's just quite a big investment for a brand which I didn't really know much about. So I decided to buy the basic set, just as it was a bit cheaper to buy the set. So we have Burnt Sienna, Ultramarine Blue, a classic in most sets, Quinacridone Rose, one of my personal favourite colours, and Hansa Yellow Medium. So in this second box, obviously lovely packaging peanuts to keep everything safe. So I've got more colours, again one of my personal favourites. This is called Opera Rose. It is a fluorescent colour, so it's not light fast, but I just use it to add just vibrancy in my paintings really. So I've got that colour, Forest Green, which just looked really interesting in the swatches. I do like Jackson's because they tend to have swatches of all the colours when you're looking, so it's just nice and easy to see what kind of colours you'd like really. And then we've got Indigo, which is a nice blue leaning dark, which I like to use for obviously darkening colours rather than using just black, and also shadows and things like that in paintings. I have Bright Green Lake, and again, this isn't a fluorescent colour, but on the swatches it looked fluorescent, like it looked really bright. So I thought, oh, I'll give that a try. It looked similar to Schminker, I think it's May Green or something like that, which is just a really intense lime green, which can be a little hard to find, so I thought I'd give it a go. And then we also have Moss Green, which I think is a new colour, and it just looked really like it had good granulation textures, so I thought I'd give that a go as well. Obviously this band of colour represents the colour, but when I was looking at the swatches online, there was they were actual swatches of the colours themselves. So they were a lot prettier, they had granulation, and they just looked really nice. And then again, I think this is a new colour, which I've never tried this colour before. It's PV19, which is quinacridone rose, but then it also has PY97, and it's called Rose d'Or or Dior, something like that. And on the swatch, it actually looked more orange leaning. So I'll be interested to see what that looks like when it's all swatched out. And then the final little box that we have, again, nicely packaged again. So some more colours. We have Periline Crimson, which I bought because I have used Periline Crimson before and I really like it. It's like a deep red, but when on the swatches for Michael Harding, it actually looked a lot more orange. So I thought that would be interesting to try. I do like good orange colours. And then we have Caribbean Turquoise. I always like to use colours like Phthalo Turquoise. And I really liked the names that Michael Harding gives their colours. Like, it's just fun, like Moss Green, Caribbean Turquoise. There was more in the actual swatches, but I did get more basic colours just to give the brand a go. But that is one that I'm looking forward to. So yeah, I also got Vivid Blue. Cobalt Teal was really expensive. It was about £15, which, don't get me wrong, is kind of normal for a Cobalt Teal pigment. I think it's PG50, PG35 maybe, just because it's expensive. But I have so many, because I use it a lot, that I decided to opt for Vivid Blue, which I think it contains PW6, which is a white pigment. So it'll probably be a bit more opaque. And I think this one was around £10, so it's just a little bit cheaper. I thought I'd give it a go. And then we have Pale Violet. They did recently bring out Lavender, which again is a colour I love to use, but I thought I'd try this Pale Violet colour instead, just as, I can't remember if it was cheaper. It might have been the same price. I just fancied trying it. And then last but not least, a colour I'm really excited to try is Quinacridone Bronze. Obviously, we all know Quinacridone Gold. It's a beautiful colour. I use it a lot. But like I said, they just had really unique colours on their swatches and in their line. So I thought I'd give Quinacridone Bronze a go. So that's everything I got in terms of watercolour. And then obviously I need something to put these paints in. So I placed an order on Amazon and just got my classic Magello Fusion 18 palette. They're advertised as airtight. They're not airtight. The paints do set in them. And I just really like them. Let me just open it up for you guys. On Amazon, they only tend to have the pink version available. They do offer blue as well, but I can never find it. But to be honest, I don't really mind. So it's just plastic palette and it clips shut. You open it up and it comes with a little notice. It has 18 quite deep wells, so you can get a lot of paint in there. And it also has a removable plastic tray just to create even more mixing area if you were to need it. Lovely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch all these colours out and have a little bit of a play so we can see what they look like. And also in a future video, I'm going to do a little demo with these Michael Harding paints and also setting up this new palette. I think this was around $13.99 on Amazon, and again, it's one of my personal favourites. They're just really good to use, so I do definitely recommend them. So yeah, we'll swatch all the colours and see what they're like. Guys, I spent so long doing this swatch sheet. Normally I literally just slap the colours on the page. I don't name them or anything. I just put the colours down and do it really quick. But I decided, no, let's be all fancy. Let's do a grid. Let's make it look nice. And look at the tragedy that has unfolded. So I don't know what it is, but as I was painting the swatches, certain areas on the paper was just repelling the paint. which is really strange. This is the Jackson's St. Cuthbert's that I've just bought. I have tried another Jackson's paper before. It was their own brand. It wasn't cotton. It was pulp or something like that, I don't know. But it did the exact same thing. Like certain areas just repelled paint and it looked like a hot, patchy mess. So I don't know what Jackson's does with their paper, but it just goes so strange. I feel like I'm being pranked right now because this is cotton paper and it's 300 GSM. So it's not the kind of reaction I'd expect to see from a paper of this quality. But anyway, I didn't know if it was the paints or the paper because obviously I've not tried these paints before either. So just to give them a fair test, I also have done them on Archer's cotton 300 GSM paper, which is a well-loved, everyone loves Archer's. It's an amazing quality paper, just to see how they react in that scenario. So just keep tuned because I'll show you the swatches and go through them a bit with that. But just enjoy these sped up versions of these swatches. I know they don't look great, but trust me, they look better on Archer's paper, which obviously leads me to believe that it's the paper that's the issue. So if you take anything from this video, do not buy this paper. Even at £6.50, if you're a watercolour artist, I would not recommend this paper. Maybe I could try it with gouache, acrylic gouache. Maybe that'd work better. But watercolour is an absolute no-no. And it's watercolour paper. So, I mean, well, that's not very great. So, yeah, let's look at the better swatches and see what they look like. So yeah, here's the better swatches on my Archer's cold press paper. I use this paper all the time. It's amazing. It works great with watercolour. As you can see, let's talk about the good notes of the haul. The watercolours are just absolutely beautiful. You can see they're just so vibrant, and this is one coat. A lot of the time with watercolour, they have a large drying shift, and they dry a lot paler than what they're initially put on, which is really normal. But these ones, they did have a dry shift slightly, but they're still so vibrant and beautiful. I mean, just look for yourselves, they just look amazing. And there was no weird patchiness with the other paper, which leads me to believe it was definitely the paper. These paints are absolutely beautiful. I mean, look for yourselves. The difference is just night and day. So I use the exact same brush and just swatch them out, and you can see the hot mess that arrived. So like I say, this paper, no. Don't buy this. I'll try painting with it. Let me know if you would like to see a demo with it, just to see what it turns out like. That might be fun, painting with products I don't like. But yeah, I did some colour mixes, just of colours that really stood out to me. So we've got quinacridone rose and vivid blue, Caribbean turquoise and quinacridone bronze, indigo and opera rose, and perylene crimson and Hansa yellow medium. So with colours, I always like to buy mixed colours because I struggle with mixing certain ones. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but for me, I struggle to mix oranges. They always end up looking really dull or really opaque. But this combination was beautiful. It's like an orange, a rusty orange. It turned out really nice. So I'll definitely use this again, this mix. And I just swatched a nice rainbow effects, and then obviously ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, just to see the darks that you get. Out of all the colours, I'd say the ones that were the weakest in pigment was probably the ultramarine blue. But then I think that is a normal thing with ultramarine blue. It's still pigmented, don't get me wrong, but it's not as vibrant as, let's say, Hansa yellow medium or quinacridone rose. You can see there was a bit of granulation with the ultramarine and the moss green, but compared to the swatches on Jackson's, they weren't as intense as the swatches. Maybe I need to add more water and just see what they turn out like. But definitely, one of my favourite colours was this Caribbean turquoise. It literally, with the tiniest amount, it's so overpowering compared to the other colours that you only need a small amount, and the pigment is just so beautiful. It's definitely a good mixer. If you were interested in getting any mixing colours, it could create beautiful greens, just really add vibrancy to your colours. Rose D'Or and Perylene Crimson, they're both really similar. So you're and an in between them. I'd probably only choose one. Perylene Crimson is just that bit darker, a bit richer. Rose D'Or is just slightly more muted, but they're both absolutely beautiful. I don't regret buying them both. I just didn't particularly need them both. So yeah, that's my first impressions of the watercolours. They look stunning to use. So make sure you subscribe to the video, because in my next one, I'm going to fill up this new plastic palette, which is always a fun thing to do with the Michael Harding watercolours. And we'll do a demo so we can really get some thoughts on how the paints perform and what they're like. So yeah, this palette has 18 wells. I do have 15 colours, so I could even buy some more speciality colours. If anyone has any recommendations, the beautiful ones that catch their eyes, let me know. And let me know something that would be fun to paint for the next video. I'm still undecided. I can't really decide. There's just so many beautiful colours. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.